Hey guys, it's Lady Rita Sarah here, and welcome to Chapter 6. So, basically, previous chapter, lot of stuff went down. You guys have seen it. Not gonna go into it, but yeah, like, we're nearing the end of this bitch. Like, holy shit, guys. I can't believe it after spending months of not doing this and now completing it and now we're gonna be finishing it and it's like damn. Anyways, so we're gonna be moving onward. Yes. Super duper high school despair. The group that caused mankind's most despairingly maleficent and monstrous malefication last year. The group that pitted us against each other in this academic coliseum and broadcasted to the world. A hopelessly, helplessly terrible group of people. And the identity of the puppet master. After all this time, we finally got our sights set on our true enemy. But first, let's get out of this awful place, shall we? Hold on, I gotta rotate my screen. There we go. We could talk once we've done that. Yeah, I agree. Alright, well, Kitty Kitty, did you happen to bring a key of sorts? Hey, Kitty Kitty. Hey! Did you bring that key with you? The Monokuma secret gadget thing you stole from the headmaster's office. Of course I have it. This key is vital in our trapping the puppet master. I wouldn't let it out of my sight. You said it can lock any door in the Coliseum, right? Yes, it can. Then it should work on that door over there, too. So put the key in the lock. Hey, Kitty Kitty, shouldn't that key be able to open this door, too? It's worth a shot. She slowly slid the Monokuma branded key in the door's keyhole. Turned it and... click! Yes! It opened! We should be able to get out of here now. Let's go. Let's. Opening the one sealed door, Kitty Kitty and I left the dump behind. And took a nice long shower. Finally. I was finally out. But I didn't have time for a sigh of relief. After all, the true battle was still to come. Chapter 6. The Super Duper High School Unluckster, or How I Learned to Stop Despairing and Embrace the End. I get the reference. Beyond the door was a space like a shaft. Like a tunnel turned on its side, or maybe a large chimney. My eyes traced a path along the ladder on the wall. I felt like I was at the bottom of a bottomless pit. Well, then it has a bottom, sir. It's not a bottomless pit if there's a bottom. I took hold of the ladder first, began my ascent, and Kitty Kitty followed after me. We climbed and 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 we climbed, unable to see our destination. After some time, though, we reached our destination. Oh, we also lost sight of our point of origin. Oh, never mind. I had no idea we were this far down. Watch your step. I won't be able to catch you if you fall. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll be careful. Of course, now that I'm actually thinking about it, maybe I should try talking about something else to take my mind off of it. Oh, hey, Kitty Kitty, there was something I wanted to ask you. You're the Super Duper High School sleuth, right? How long have you been a detective? So why didn't the translators go with detective? How long? I've always been one, ever since I was a child. Since the old days when detective work was considered far more vulnerable than it is today. The Kitty Kitty family has made its made its livelihood as detectives. Then your family's pretty famous, isn't it? Actually, quite the opposite. We're relatively unknown, even among others in the same line of work. Huh? But why, if you got such a strong family tradition? We pride ourselves in it. Pride? Detectives represent neither light nor dark. It is precisely because we are neither good nor evil that we are able to find the one truth. We are obligated to maintain neutrality, so for that reason we must separate ourselves from the world. Thus we deliberately keep our existence hidden away. You keep it hidden? It's an obstacle. It's an obstacle. Yes, it's an obstacle. It's an obsolete, old-fashioned, illogical way of thinking. But despite that, we still abide by it. After all, it is our pride. Pride. I think I get it. The reason I couldn't find anything about her in the new student at the academy thread was because she kept that information hidden to uphold her family's pride. But I trampled on that pride. What? I sold myself out to the academy faculty so I would be selected for admission, knowing full well that my actions were unworthy of a Kirigiri family detective. She went so far as to trample over her family's pride, so she could enroll in the academy, and she wanted to do that because... You were really looking forward to meeting your dad, weren't you? I can't blame you. Looking forward to it? I have absolutely nothing to look forward to in a reunion with my father. Huh? But you haven't seen your dad in so long. Surely there's a bunch of stuff you want to talk about. I have nothing to talk to him about. But I do have something to tell him. You want to tell him something? There's something I absolutely want to tell that man. To meet him directly and tell him to his face. And what's that? That I'm cutting off all our ties. That he is no longer my father. No longer her father? Well, she has gone through a lot to tell him that. The last time I saw that man, I was still a child. So I don't know a lot about him, other than that he was apparently... Oh, my foot! He was apparently very intelligent. The Kirigiri family had high hopes for the future with him as the next family head. But he hated being a detective. So he withdrew himself from the Kirigiri family. When my mother died, he used that as an excuse to run away from home. He had a big fight with my grandfather, the head, and then he left, leaving me still young behind. I'm sure he had a good reason. I bet your dad really wanted to bring you with him. In that case, I should be thankful. Thankful that he left me behind. Unlike that man, I actually take pride in my work as a detective. I take pride in the Kirigiri family. So I am grateful from the bottom of my heart that he didn't take me with him. Had he, by some chance, actually taken me with him, I would not have been able to become a detective. Climbing the ladder ahead of her, I was unable to see Kirigiri's face. So I had no way to know what kind of expression, what kind of emotion her face bore. As she said those words, all I could tell was that, as compared to usual, she was speaking more freely. And perhaps more brazenly. I have no intention of blaming that man. His life is his to live. And I'm sure it sounds like I'm being dismissive, but that's honestly how I feel. There's just one thing that I can never forgive him for. And what's that? The way people looked at me. I felt no sorrow for having been left behind, rather I thought I was better off for it. But people didn't see me like that. I was always thought of as the girl who was abandoned by her father. And that's how they all looked at me. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm fed up with having my past, that man's shadow, always hanging over me. I want to cut him out of my life once and for all. That's why I have to tell him. Tell him to his face that I'm cutting all ties. So I can clear the books on our past. So I can remove that man from my life. Of course, he's probably forgotten all about me by now. But your family, isn't severing relations a bit much? He and I simply share the same blood, nothing more. We may be connected by our blood, but our hearts are disconnected. Can you really call that family? They're connected by blood, but their hearts are disconnected. She had been so sure, so firm in saying that, I couldn't think of any way to respond. So I could do nothing but keep my mouth shut. I like Kiri. I love Kirigiri. I hope she makes it to the end, and I hope if I have to make decisions, I hope I keep her alive. To continue climbing in silence. After some time, we finally arrived. I would be so freaking out of shape. I'd be like climbing these ladders and just be like can't breathe. It looks like this is the end. The academy is on the other side of that door. We've returned. You remember the door in the dormitory's trash room floor? That should be where we come out. I unlocked the door ahead of time, so there shouldn't be any problems opening it. I'll give it a shot. I pressed my hand against the door above my hand, and I pushed. And it was locked! Nah. With little resistance, the door opened. Then... Okay. We've returned. That was an unbelievably long ladder. I'm exhausted. Somehow we made it back. Whether you could say we were unharmed, it was another issue altogether. But here we are. Oh, here we were. The academy. Thank you, Kirigiri. You saved my life. You don't need to thank me. I was just repaying a favor. Okay. Oh, I wanted to talk to Kirigiri, but this is okay. This is the trash room where our garbage goes. And yet, after Yamada, I've never actually seen anyone on janitorial duty. Ugh. So what do we do from here? I managed to dodge one bullet, and that's great and all, but if the Puppet Master finds me... It's not just me who's in danger, but you too, since you saved me. Are you worried? Well, yeah. Then how about we ask him directly? Huh? Him? Monokuma. Ask him whether your escaping is a problem or not. But... It's just a matter of time before you're found, and it's not like there's anywhere to run to anyway. As she spoke, Kirigiri pointed at the security camera. So you're saying if my only option is to wait to be caught, then I'd better be off just surrendering? Don't worry, things won't end up the way you're afraid they will. After all, it's the Puppet Master who's been driven into a corner, not us. The Puppet Master's been driven into a corner. You said that before. What do you mean? By holding Makoto Itsuba's class trial, the Puppet Master revealed his hand. And that's something we can take advantage of. Something we could take advantage of? You'll see when we talk to Monokuma. Also, it's in our best benefit to act first before you're discovered. We want any advantage we can get for this negotiation. I'm a little bit, no, more than a little bit nervous, but we've got no choice, do we? Monokuma should be in the gymnasium. Let's go, shall we? Leave? No? I have no choice. What if I, like, knocked on somebody's door? Oh god, not Hagakure. You're dead. You're also dead. Asahina. Monokuma, let's get going. Oh. Meh. Oh, it also is nighttime. Well, no, they would be in their dorms then. Maybe. Supersonic racing, gotta keep your feet right on the ground. When you're supersonic racing, there's no time to look around. Whoosh! Okay. Well, 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 well. Oh dear. I get kitty kitty. But why is the should have been executed has been Nagi here with you? Can't say I didn't see that reaction coming. Am I really going to be okay? Did you perhaps save him? And after all the trouble I went through preparing his punishment? And what if I did? If the villain is correctly identified during the class trial, he alone will be punished. I'm sorry to say it, but those are the rules. So I'll just have to punish you again, and this time I'll make sure it works. Kitty kitty. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. What? But before you do, let me say one thing. If you execute Nagi, then you lose. Are you okay with that? Huh? Me? Lose? Hey, what's that supposed to mean? That class trial was a big setup, wasn't it? So you could smoke me out and kill me. In other words, had things gone according to plan, it would have been me executed here. Hold on, what are you saying? But your expectations were blown way off track because Nagi let my lie slip through unnoticed. You didn't see that coming. It didn't even cross your mind that, in that situation, someone would stand up for someone else. And your response to that unexpected turn of events was to call Nagi the villain and execute him. You were desperate. No, it was more than desperation. You felt threatened by Nagi because he doesn't do what you expect him to. But that wasn't the only surprise waiting for you that class trial. Someone interfered with Negi's execution. Alter ego. You miscalculated. You didn't consider that someone who was already dead would save someone else. And that is the truth. It wasn't Nagi who murdered Makoto Itsuba, it was you. And yet, for you to execute Nagi in spite of that, isn't that a violation of the rules you so adore? Correct me if I'm wrong, but the villain is only supposed to be executed if he's identified correctly. And that means I lose? Let me get this straight. You're saying the real villain here is me, not Nagi? Then where's your evidence? I don't have any. She doesn't sugarcoat it. Is this your idea of a joke? How could you talk like a big shot and not even have any evidence to back it up? I don't have any now, but with a little more time, I'll be able to find everything I need. As much as you might try to hide it, there's only one truth. What's your deal? Now you're pilfering catchphrases from super detectives. If Nagi really did kill her, then he wouldn't have come to you like this. He'd have gone into hiding, trembling under the weight of his sins, cowering in fear of his punishment, rotting away in your precious despair. But we're here, standing up to you. We haven't lost hope. You trying to say that counts in place of evidence? You think that's enough to satisfy me? You're right, that wouldn't satisfy you, but it's the same for the people watching this. Executing Nagi now will not satisfy them. What? If you execute Nagi right now, this is what people watching will think. They'll think that you forcibly executed Nagi because everything we said was right. They'll think that hope cannot be killed with despair. If your stance is that what we're saying is baseless, then you just have to prove it, right? No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you execute Nagi while his guilt is still in question, then you're admitting defeat. If you want us to experience despair fairly and impartially, then you'll have to accept my proposition. You must accept it. So what is it, this proposition of yours? that we retry Makoto Ixuba's murder case. And that this time, you hold a fair class trial abiding by the school rules. Let this be our final battle. The final battle between hope and despair. Pretty fitting for a climax, don't you think? A fair class trial. The final battle. In other words, a trial to reveal the Puppet Master's identity. But the Puppet Master has no reason to accept a challenge like that. Surely he'll just get rid of me, no questions asked. Intriguing. Very intriguing. Oh, goodness. Barry? I'm trying out a new personality. I couldn't bear the old one any longer. Anyways, oh, no. That's not a very bad idea. It is a pretty fitting climax. I'll give you that. So you accept. If I do, will that satisfy you lot and the viewers? And when you're satisfied, will you despair for me? If you will, then honey, show me where to sign? Okay. Will you lot and your hope win out, or will me and my despair take the crown? A veritable final battle, a real Kodak moment. He accepted? And that means there's still a chance. However, since this is the climax, it would be pretty boring if you all had to do was find the culprit. So, to make it befitting for a final conflict, you lot need to lay bare all of the mysteries. What? All of the mysteries? Every single mystery bared in the academy. If you manage to solve all of them, then I'll call you lot's victory. That's what I was planning on doing from the beginning. Then that takes care of that. If you lot can uncover Makoto Ixuba's murderer, how the crime was committed, and on top of that, solve all the Academy's mysteries, then I'll admit defeat. But when the polar opposite happens, well, I'll be executed, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the grisly truth, just what kind of despair you lot show me. We're the ones who should be excited. When we reveal everything, just how despair will Super Duper High School despair be in? I feel like I just witnessed the start of something outrageous. But first, I'd like to clarify something. You said before that class trials are held when murders are committed among the students, right? What of it? I'd like to confirm that there are no inaccuracies in that statement. There's no need to try and pry it out of me. I'm an approachable kind of bear. Everything that's happened has all been in accordance with the school rules. And it goes without saying, Makoto Ixuba's class trial is no exception. Huh? Makoto Ixuba's class trial is no exception. It was held in accordance with the school rules? Then that means the person who killed her. Actually, while we're at it, I'll give you one more hint. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but there are a total of 16 participants, all of whom are students in this academic coliseum. Also, since the coliseum commenced operation, the only living humans to set foot in the academy are those very same 16 students. What? Is that the truth? Why the silent treatment all of a sudden? Oop, oop, oop. This conversation's over. I ain't got nothing left to talk to you guys about. Now scram! Now he's angry? Maybe he has borderline personality disorder. Well, if you couldn't tell by his black and white exterior. Shut up and get lost. Alright, we're going. Are you sure I can go? Whatevs, it doesn't matter. You're all gonna get punished later either way. So I'm gonna prepare something very despairingly special for you guys. Oh my goodness. Let's go, Negi. Okay. I think we broke Monokuma. With our backs turned to Monokuma's creepy, unstable laughter, Kirigiri and I left the gym. Oh shit, now what? I don't really know what just happened, but I didn't get executed. I'm not dead somehow. I really didn't expect that to work. And now I've got another reason to be thankful for Kirigiri. Thanks, Kirigiri. It's all because of you. It's still too early to start celebrating. The real battle is still to come. Yeah, I know. But even so, I'm just as relieved as you are. Thank goodness he accepted my proposition. Why do you think he did anyway? What does the Puppet Master gain from accepting your challenge? He had no choice. What? That's what I was talking about when I said we had an advantage. So in the end, what was that advantage? I didn't hear it firsthand, but the Puppet Master said that everything that happens here is being broadcast live nationwide over hijacked broadcast signals, right? Yeah, he did. What did you think when you heard that? It was pretty hard to believe, wasn't it? Yeah, him hijacking the broadcast signal seems almost unreal. It seems unreal because it's something that doesn't happen very often. Because it's just that difficult. But the Puppet Master pulled it off. Turning that around, it means he had some reason he needed to do it, despite how difficult it was. A reason? No matter what the cost, he wanted to put us killing each other on display for the world to see. He wanted to put us on display killing each other? The Puppet Master didn't want us dead. He was determined to make us kill each other. He most likely established the school rules expressly for that purpose. Yeah, you're right. If those rules didn't exist, nobody would have killed anyone. Basically, the Puppet Master's objective was to make us kill each other and show that to the world. But to what end? More than likely as proof. Proof? Do you know how the Academy students are referred to by the general population? Hope, right? By plunging us hope into despair and driving us to kill each other. And then putting that on display for the world, he wanted to prove that despair prevails over hope. That is the Puppet Master's goal, the Super Duper High School Despair's goal. Huh? To prove that despair prevails over hope. All for something so stupid? It is stupid, and it is illogical, but it's certainly something the group of people called Super Duper High School Despair could come up with. People who act purely for the sake of despair. But making people suffer for something like that? I understand wanting to get angry, but it's because of that reason that our advantage was born. What? Because the Puppet Master wanted to show us killing each other to the world. He's even more stringent than necessary about upholding the rules he established. Had he forced action, ignoring the rules, this would no longer be a coliseum, but a slaughterhouse. At the very least, that's how it would appear to people watching. So that's why he couldn't just kill us himself. That's the reason he couldn't kill me with his own hands. As much as I was a thorn in his side, I wasn't actually breaking the rules. Oh god, I completely forgot about you. So he couldn't step in and intervene directly like he did with Inoshima. He attempted to kill me using that class trial so it would appear as though he was upholding the rules. There was no correct answer, just a set of it to make me into the culprit. But he failed. All thanks to you. And from that failure, we gained an even bigger advantage. He tried to execute you, even though you were innocent. And since his failure was revealed on live television, he had no choice but to accept your proposal. To prove to the world that despair prevails over hope, he needed to completely and utterly defeat us. So the revelation of the Puppet Master having violated his own rules was a mark against him. And you used that against him to get him to accept your challenge? It was you who put the hole in his defenses. We're only walking this road now because you believed in me. I can't believe you figured all that out. I hadn't noticed anything. No, I just reasoned it out without any solid proof and took a chance on that reasoning. Thankfully, it appears I was right. After she said that and let out a deep breath like a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. Quite frankly, I haven't been that nervous in a while. That's not how it looked to me. Before we left to find Monokuma, you looked like you were brimming with confidence. That's one of the fundamentals of negotiation. You need to be strong and sure of yourself. Besides, if I looked anxious, it would have just made you even more so. She's probably right about that, as pitiful as it makes me. But we can't just sit here clamoring about how happy we are forever. All we've attained now is a chance to continue fighting, and if we don't win here, then we all have been for nothing. Then it will all have been for nothing. Yeah. She's right. If we don't beat the Puppet Master here, we can't make it out of here alive. Winning is our only option. Before we begin our final investigation, we need to bring the others up to speed. Oh, God. But we know who our enemy is now. So all that's left for everyone to work together and hunt down the Puppet Master. If freaking Tagami is gonna be everyone working together. Will it really be that easy? Huh? Anyway, we need to find everyone else. Let's go. I'm sure they're somewhere in the dorms. They should be in their dorms sleeping. We should regroup. Let's get going. Yes. Oop, I did have the... Oh boy! It's the final showdown! Oh god. Oh, this is gonna go crazy.